I have to use chat on the other phone. Can you guys hear me fine and clear? I got this Bluetooth mic on, so as you come in, let me know. Grinding this thing out, man, and working. Working on the right things. I'm in the zone, so what I decided to do was tonight we're gonna make product pages, but as you tap in, if you're watching live or the replay, man, let me know where you're watching from. Hopefully I can teach you guys something today. This is gonna show a little bit of how I use AI. I'll give you guys a little bit of behind the scenes here, what I'm working on, what I've been doing. Before we go too deep into it, what I realized that I want to do moving forward is with T-shirt Side Hustle is I want to rebrand the industry. That's the overarching big goal of mine. One of the things that I like is when you have a goal that's so far out there that you don't know if you got there until you look back and admire the work that you've done. And I felt like for me, it's like me saying that I wanted to become the face of this industry was like one of those things that I didn't know how I was going to be rewarded for it. I just said, how I was going to acknowledge it, recognize it. I just said this is what I was going to do. And then, a couple years into it, a year later or so, um, I was voted the #1 decoration influencer in the space. And when I found out this was the first ever list by Printer United, I had nothing to do with it, didn't know what, didn't do work with them. I was just out doing a ton of work. And it got recognized, which was pretty cool. I wasn't looking for it, but what that actually did for me was it ended up being the pinnacle of it gave it a definition for me. And so, what I was committing to was the work that it took to become the face of the industry. It was no really way to say it, but that became one of those things. No, and I want to say that also saying I'm not the person who is out looking for rewards for the stuff that I do. You know what I'm saying? Like I do my work behind the scenes and I want to make my bread. So that's the overarching goal. I'm gonna keep saying this on the videos. Drop a comment, let me know where you're watching from when you see this. But if you're watching, let me know what you want to see on the channel. I have some plans for the future. I'm setting things up and in place. I think you guys will love the direction that we're gonna have. I think it's gonna be super impactful, and it's going to support the way that I rebrand the industry. And it's gonna be fun. So I'm about to work. If you guys have questions, somebody drop a comment. Let me know the comments is working. Sometimes I can't tell. Let me know that the mic, I sound crystal clear. Everything's operational, but I'm about to just get to work. And there's sometimes I might just like be working and you'll hear me talking and popping things on the screen. If I'm clicking around a lot and you guys want to see what I'm working on, some stuff is not interesting, but right now I'm about to draft up the copy. And then once we finalize the copy, I jump into Google, I printed Google Docs, I print it out. And once we finalize the copy and all of that stuff, then maybe tonight we'll get in and design one of the pages. Yeah. Yeah, so what we ended up doing is we're gonna start talking to chat. What I'm working on right now is just screen print equipment, which is the new Craftsman line. This is the legacy model. We've done some changes, some things to it. So we're gonna design the individual page for the Craftsman Pro page, and kind of getting it going. Let me actually do that. And there was the other one. Yeah, good. All right. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna jump in chat, and then we're just gonna get to work. Get to work. What up, chat?
Hey there. Sounds like you're diving into a lot of customization and branding for Renar's product lines. Just let me know how I can help next, or if you want to jump in or find anything else.
All right. So what I uploaded was the individual sales sheets for the products that we carry at Renar. We have rebranded them to the Craftsman Lite and the Craftsman Pro. So the first PDF that you have that says Craftsman Lite, which references the entry-level multi-station press. What we're gonna do with this entire process is we're gonna build out a product page for the equipment. On that product page, I want to embody both the light and pro models of the equipment on this page. And actually, let's just plan for all three, which will be the starter, the light, and the pro. I'm going to explain to you the differences in the configuration of how this ends up, happening or what we're going to do. But I want one page to encompass overall the commonality in the Craftsman line. And then I want to explain the differences in each of the press models, which is their configuration, really, how they're configured, and what the format of them are. And so, starting with the entry level line, the entry level line, first and foremost, the starter information. So, we need the general information that's common between all of them, explaining the craftsmanship between the overall craft line, which is the craft line, which is this entry level press, and the Vista series press. So, they got some generic information at the top. We want to craft up a good summary of the line from that aspect. The light version is, the starter version is only going to come in a single station, which is showing up here as the P110BT. That press, as well as the P-205BT, is the starter line, configured in a one color, one station, and in a two color, one station press. So that would make it the 11,000 and the 21,000 printer. So that would be the Craftsman starter 11,000 and the 21,000. That will be the models for the entry level line. Following that up, we will have the light line, which will come in a 1-4, which or 4-1, which will be the 4100 four color one station. It'll come in a 4200, which will be a four color two station, and comes in a recommended for 4400 four color four station press. With that being said, those are the light line, the starter line, and the light line for the Craftsman series. The next one will be one other detail to both of those. Those lines will come with a standard pallet size of 14 by 16. Lastly, going on to the Pro line, the Pro line is listed on a 2-sheet series under the Vista 2 series. And so that will only come in a 44 a 44,000, which is, or a 4,400. I'm sorry, none of these are thousands, they're all hundreds. So 4,400, which would be the the Craftsman Pro 4400 would be a 4-color 4-station. The Craftsman Pro 6400 would be the 6-color 4-station, and the Craftsman Pro 6600 would be the 6-color 6-station. And so that's going to come with a standard pallet size of our size medium, which is the adult size, which is a 16 by 18 inches. The Craftsman Light and Starter Series will come with the small platen, which is our size, which will be a 14 by 16, which is technically our youth platen. And so we want to take all of the aspects and specs and details that you see on these sales sheets, as well as I'm going to give you the individual product page links. Actually, let's not do it with the links. Let's just go ahead and analyze all of this information, everything I just gave you about what we're going to offer. Let's summarize everything into the common things that can be said about the Vista overall. And then at the bottom, after that happens, I want to go into the breakdown for the page. So this page will be a sales page for this specific product, as if somebody wanted to purchase it. So I want to make sure that we got a good flow, and we're walking them through the process of this page of becoming a customer and buying the equipment that they're looking like. I want to make sure that is looked at as its own individual funnel, and we want to make sure we highlight the key features like the ability to pick a custom color to paint their equipment. Should they want to paint it a different color as one of the key features. Both of these kits are going to come with aluminum platens in the sizes that we went over earlier. And so there will also be a section for optional upgrades. They can choose to have micro registration or not have micro registration on the starter, and they have the option to take it off on the other the light line. So we'll have a section for all of the options that they may have, and we'll be able to go from there. That was a lot.
Absolutely. Let's break that down into a clear structure for your product page. Overall Craftsman line summary. Welcome to the Craftsman series, our trusted American-made line of screen print presses that combines decades of manufacturing craftsmanship with the flexibility today's print shops need. Whether you're starting small in a garage or scaling up to a professional studio, there's a Craftsman press for every step of the journey. Starter line, Craftsman Starter Series. The Craftsman Starter Series is our entry-level solution, perfect for side hustlers and beginners. Available in 1-color, 1-station, and 2-color, 1-station configurations, the Craftsman Starter 1000 and 1100. This line is built for those with limited space and a need for mobility. Each comes standard with a 14 by 16 platen, delivering reliable quality in a compact footprint. Light line. Stepping up to the Craftsman Light series gives you more flexibility without losing that space-saving design. These presses like the 4100, 4200, and the recommended 4400 model range from 4-color 1-station up to 4-color 4-station setups. They feature the same trusted craftsmanship with a slightly larger production capacity and a standard 14 by 16 platen. Section for the Pro line, Craftsman Pro Series. For those ready to run a full-scale professional shop, the Craftsman Pro Series is the answer. Available in configurations like the 4400, 4-station, 6400, 6-color 4-station, and 6800 6-station, the Pro line is built for maximum throughput. These presses come standard with a 16 by 18 platen and can be customized for even more demanding production needs. Custom color scheme section. Your equipment, your color scheme. In today's print shops, your equipment is more than just a tool. It's a centerpiece. That's why we offer custom 2-tone paint jobs to match your brand's vibe. Stand out from the competition and make your press uniquely yours. Benefits checklist. Reinforce your shop's unique brand with equipment that looks the part. Shop morale. A customized color scheme boosts pride and professionalism in your workspace. Customer impressions. Impress clients and visitors with a shop that looks as professional as the prints you produce. Let's build out that page with these sections, highlight the configurations, and guide the customer through each choice. That way we turn the product page into a smooth, informative journey that feels like its own funnel.
All right, so based on the PDFs that I uploaded that you analyzed, I need to go in here and for the commonalities, you can see the features and the options. So I want to look at the features and I want to make sure that we're summarizing a feature section based on both of those lists. No redundancy, and only what's really important that people would want to know in that features list. And then for each of the models, I want to go into their production capabilities as a section under each of them. So, do you have that information from what we discussed before about the actual outputs of the dryer, as well as what the actual operated capacity is most likely to be in range? And then I also want to make sure that the options for each are shown as well. So the optional upgrades that they can add for both the entry level, which is our light version, and the Vista series, which is our pro version. So go back to those and also read the summaries for each on the first page of the sheets. Read the summaries for all of the equipment and make sure that we're pulling from the information that they have there as we give me a combined summary for what we should say. And I want to put it back into the format. Remember, if you have it, let me know if you don't. The formatting that we did for the pages when it came to kits, I want to make sure that we are in that framework, although it will be slight changes because we are talking about individual products and not sets of products.
Absolutely, I've got that. So let's pull together a concise summary for the PDFs and align it with the kit style formatting we've used before. I'll also incorporate the production capacities, key features, and optional upgrades so that each line, starter, light, pro, is presented clearly. Craftsman Series Overview. The Craftsman line embodies decades of trusted American manufacturing with a focus on craftsmanship and reliability. All models feature sturdy construction, standard aluminum platens, and the flexibility to add optional upgrades like micro registration. Each line offers a unique balance of size, production capacity, and customization to fit different stages of your business. Compact single-station presses, 1 or 2 color, ideal for beginners and side hustlers. Standard 14 by 16 aluminum platen. Optional micro registration available for more precise alignment. Estimated to produce about 40 to 60 units per hour. For finer detail control. Light line. Multi-station presses, 4 color options with 1, 2, or 4 stations for growing shops. Same 14 by 16 platen size for consistency. Custom color options available to match your brand. Typically handles 50 to 125 units per hour, depending on configuration. Optional micro registration, custom color scheme for a personalized look. High capacity presses, 4 color and 6 color models for professional setups. Larger 16-18 platen for bigger prints, fully customizable with upgraded print heads and dryer options. Production capacity, capable of producing 100 to 200 plus units per hour depending on the model. Enhanced micro registration, custom color schemes, additional platen and dryer customization. I'll also incorporate the consistent points with the option for custom color schemes right after the initial introduction. That way each section flows naturally into the next, and the user can see at a glance what each level of the Craftsman line offers. When we draft that out, then we can refine from there.
All right, so we need to also go back into the fact that like the hero image and all of that kind of stuff and what that text is gonna be. What I feel like we need to say is something. Obviously, we're gonna have the logo of the Craftsman there, but we need to give it a very, very strong hero text, and some subtext. So we need something very catchy based on the framework of the key terms that we use for the brand. So give me an idea of what that header section could be before we go rewrite the whole page based on the copy that we need.
Absolutely. Let's craft a strong hero section that really pops and captures the essence of the Craftsman line. Hero section